Alright, so you're looking at the back of SR76. We're going to work on the lighting a little bit. I'm going to see if I can clean up these lenses a little bit. They've got age. So I've got some stuff I can put on just to see if I can. I'm not going to do too much because I don't want to ruin them. But taking them off, it looks like original wrap from the factory. But I don't know for sure. But we'll know when we take the next one off. We might as well just do that right now. Let me see if I can put you somewhere where you can watch. It's not like it's a technical deal, but okay. So basically they're just two screws. And these were original screws coming out of here, so there's nothing new to that. Make sure you can see. Now these get a lot of sunlight. I try to keep it covered, but you can see, you know, sometimes the covering with a car cover gives nasty stuff all over the paint. Ideally, I'd have a big old beige just to keep the Corvette in, but I don't. As a lot of people don't. There's no tape on it. It looks like someone might have taped it to keep it in. Now you'll see the video. I did a video testing the lights, and now the backup light does not work at all. Brake lights work. Headlights do not work. So I'm assuming I'm going to replace some bulbs in here. I've got a bunch of bulbs to replace. Clean this up in here a little bit. And you can see these are really, really old. I don't know if I can show you that in a good light, because right now you're on a shelf in one of my storage units here, but you can see, let's see if I can get you, you can see right here, there's some cracks, because it's just so old. But the backup lights don't work. I think that's just one bulb. Headlights don't work, and that could be a whole host of things that I'll have to dig into eventually here. So I'm going to stop for now. I'll show you what I come up with later. Alright, so we're back at SR76. So this is the original tail light. It's got some overspray on because I was touching up some spots and got some on it. I'm trying to get you some good light, but this has a lot of cracks in it. It says safe AR75. And there's some numbers here I can't quite see, but we'll try to clean it up a little bit. So it says SAE AR75 guide, and I can't read the rest, but we'll figure it out here in a little bit if we can get it clean. Just some regular lacquer thinner. Don't know what it's going to do to the plastic, but it's old plastic. I want to try to get some of the dark, some of this off. Now this is textured. You can see the texture. And so I don't imagine, even if I were to do the sanding thing and the buffing thing that they require to clean those up, it's probably not going to work. So eventually I'll get a new set of these. But I just want to clean these up right now, get them looking a little decent. Numbers from the back. That says B/U /U. Numbers are upside down. Nope. Numbers are 5966096C. Don't know if those mean anything. Well, I'm sure they're parts numbers of some kind. But all right, let's take some lacquer thinner here, and we'll if I can get it open. They're child-proof and adult-proof. persuading tool. Screwdriver's on my bench. Oh, yeah. Just a little right. You probably should use gloves, but I'm not going to. Chances are the gloves will melt with this stuff anyway. So we're going to see if we can get a little bit of this white off. I'm pretty sure you can see that right there, the overspray. Yeah. So it's working nicely. Let's get a lot of the overspray off. It's not doing much for the fogginess, but in the videos you saw, the lights are pretty bright now. Of course, you didn't see this because the backup lights aren't working, and there's lots of reasons that could be. So I did clean up a little bit. Cleaning up a lot. I don't have to use thinner in the back here, but I figured I would anyway. Of course, it didn't clear this up at all. We didn't expect it to. And again, that's going to be impossible to brighten given the current technologies for cleaning up lenses. Unless someone's got something out there I haven't heard about, drop me a note. See what else is out there that I might be missing. But most of them require you to sand and buff, and I suppose I could buff that a little bit. But it's so, well, that looks pretty good, but you can see here, I don't know if I can see if I can show you any more cracks. You can see one right there. Goes up. There's another one right there next to the eyelet. That's hard to see. There you go. You might be able to see it right there, running up there. Yeah, this one's really bad. You can see right here. So I don't think there's much sense in even trying to polish these up. And they do take a beating with heat, especially here in Arizona. And this is as far as I can tell, this is an Arizona car. One of those online services that'll recreate stickers for you, window stickers and information for you. Just know that some of that stuff's made up, especially for these years, the 70s, because a lot of that stuff was not recorded or destroyed in a fire, supposedly. And no one really has that information. So the guy actually said, was working with, actually said, hey, get all your codes, and I could do that. The codes you can find, you get the Black Book and then a couple other places. National Corvette Museum actually has a really good birthday source, so you can get an idea of when your car was made. And so this guy goes, well, where did it come from? What was the dealership it was sold at? There's no telling. And if there is, let me know, because I can't find anywhere where you can actually tell where the car went. There's a shipping date, but there's really not really shipping locations. I know mine came from St. Louis. I think St. Louis, and was shipped somewhere, unless there's a way to figure that out. I don't know. So he said, well, go back and find what Chevy dealerships were in your area at the time. And I know this car came up from Phoenix, so I just took a guess. Well, I must have come from a Phoenix dealership. So therefore, I'll assume it was from Phoenix, and I'll just pick a dealership that was in place at the time. And I can't remember the name of the one I picked. You just go back and do a quick search in dealerships in 1976, 1975. And that's how that ended up being on. Yeah, this is getting really bad. It's all cracked down along here. So we'll baby it through. Probably after I get the car painted here in 4 or 5 months, we'll take a look at replacing these, because that's just going to be really in bad shape. But it's still holding on, still keeping the bulb in there, and even that, it's hard to see, but even that's got some chipping and stuff around it, so the bulb may flop in and out. But I'm going to replace the bulb. This is the backup light. I'm going to replace it. That wasn't working at all. I'm going to go pull the other ones off, and we'll clean those up a little bit too. Oh, also, I'm going to clean in here in the wells. I don't know how well you can see in that. Ooh, how well can you see in the well? But it's pretty grody and cruddy and all kinds of stuff in there. So I'm going to clean that up a little bit, and we'll take care of it. All right, so this is the brake light, tail light, signal light. The bulb on that is pretty toasted, so I'm going to replace the bulb. I'll show you that in a bit. But that's got a lot of overspray on it, so we're going to get that cleaned up right now. And then we'll look for cracks on here and see how bad this one is. And I don't know how good the aftermarket ones are, so I'm sure somebody will chip in. Again, this says SAE for the safety, IST 75 guide. So clearly it's the same as the 75s. Now this still has a lot of cracks in it too. You probably, whoops, I got you tuned up too high here. Some here, some here, some here. I mean, just everywhere, actually. Actually, it's cracked everywhere. Especially around the screw hole. Too much heat here in Arizona, too much direct sunlight. I keep it covered, but again, the covering itself. So now this is a different type of housing than the other one. Let me get to the other one, you can see them together. There you go. Pretty different. Backup light. I think I got most of the overspray off of this. Take the back a little bit. This one's in good shape. It held the bulb in there really good. This one is so that was a B backup light. What's the U for? Don't know. This one says left, right. It probably doesn't really matter that much. It's making some creaky noises here. I want to break any of these pieces off. And again, you know, if you live up in the northeast, like where I came from, that is where everything rusts and gets wet and rots. Here in Arizona, you got a rot. It's called dry rot. But the worst is northeast, the plastic survives. Down here in the south, the plastic is the first stuff to go. Plastic and paint. I don't know if you can hear the creaking sound, but that's the lens creaking. It's got some cracks in it. I'll clean these again with a little all-purpose cleaner just to get the residue off here. I can do that now. Where's my... do the interior cleaner. Detailer, no. Carpet upholstery cleaner, no. Rinseless black, no. Where's my all-purpose? I'll just use some interior cleaner to see if I can get a little bit of that gray stuff off of there. No, not really. I think I made it worse. try something else. Here's my Eco All-Purpose Cleaner. Jack's, is that from Jack's? No, that's from Bevosh, as far as I can tell. So that works on this one. Nah, nothing's going to do much for them. They're pretty nastied up. At least I got the overspray off. Alright, let me go pull the other sides and we'll look at those. Alright, here's the other side. These may be worse than the last set. Let's clean them up and see what we got. Need a clean rag here. So you see the same configuration. And that is for left, right, or L. No one cares. I guess it doesn't matter what side they go on. And apparently it doesn't. You see, look, full of bugs. Full of dried up Arizona bugs. Like my southern accent. From the southern part of New York State, which that isn't true either. Alright, a lot of overspray on this one. That's all my bad. Trying to touch up some spots in there and didn't get the tape on all the way and came off. Made a mess. But luckily, I spent a lot of time working on my dad's body shop. We once painted the swirls on brand new Coca-Cola trucks when I was a kid. Big old delivery trucks with the sides that slid up and the Coke bottles on there. Now, it wasn't that long ago, it was the 70s, so it's not like we're talking about ancient times. I'm trying to remember, most of them were Chevys, I think. Chevy trucks, large ones, not the semis, but I guess we can do that. So same thing, SE, SAE, IST 75 guide. And this has a lot of cracks in it too. This has a lot of little small surface cracks you probably won't be able to see. I'm not going to be able to show them to you properly. But that's got a lot of them, this hose center thing. Just too much wear and tear. Too much Arizona sun. And that's as cleaned up as that's going to get. Just with a little Eco Cleaner in the back here. Eco Cleaner works pretty good. It's not good on grease and stuff, but it gets crud off. And it doesn't hurt the plastic at all. I don't think these separate. There's a gasket there, but I'm not going to mess with them now. But it looks like they separate. I don't know if the, yeah, looks like they do. Is it twist on, twist off? Unless we mess around with it and break it. We won't. We'll leave it like it is for now. Yeah, just a little bit. So that's RL. Got some numbers down here. I'm sure they're not much different than the last set. Those are well worn. You can't. They're hard to read. That's like 5966500. 5966500. I'll take snapshots of those later and blow them up, make sure I got the numbers right. And just for the record, I have a spreadsheet where I record all the numbers and the parts and stuff. You can find them someplace else, but I like them quick to quick to access file. If they're in my spreadsheets, I got them. Now this one's got some huge cracks in it. Here's one. See, I don't know if you can see it. All through here. All down here. This whole lens of it is going to come off here any minute. This one's the same thing, 75. So we know they're all exactly the same. Some numbers underneath here. 59 66099 66099. Look at some pictures of those. Looks like they must be running here. Interesting. No numbers underneath this. Just can't see because I got them covered up. Nope. Alright, well. There's in the back. 5096696. Stuff on there to get off. I'll give them a little shot of Eco Cleaner, wipe them down a little bit. And then we'll go check out some bulbs. I'll take you with me for the first round here, but then I'll leave you behind while I'm swapping out the bulbs. Unless you want to see that. Well, maybe I'll just leave it on. We'll see. Alright, let's go for a walk. Alright, so if you look in here, you can see it's cruddy in there. This bulb, this is the backup light. And it's only a single element, so that's probably the only thing it has. This one is a double element. It says so it's brake and tail light, and that's pretty well toasted. No backup lights, so I'm going to swap the bulbs out anyway. That one looks fine, but we'll see. And then this one again, no tail lights. Brake lights work, no tail lights, so that's probably fried on one side of it. Yeah, it looks like it. So we're going to clean it up. Now I assume this is factory stuff right here. And I don't need it on there. It's not going to not do anybody any good anyway. But you can see that's just years of crud. So we'll pull that all off. And then we'll swap out the bulbs. Let me show you the bulbs real quick, because I have those here. Now this is a kit. Comes with every bulb, supposedly every bulb you need. I think I've showed this once before. For 76 bulb kit. Let me put you down here for a minute. And you see they come in all different sizes. There's actually a chart. The chart's probably the best thing. Chart. Where's the chart? Oh, God, I have it so angled. So now I just got to find the numbers. Numbers are written on the back on each container. You can see some of the numbers on there. So now I just got to find the right one. So if I look at the chart says we got luggage compartment. That one works fine. Backup lights 1156. So let's do the 1156 first. 57, 1156. Hang on a second, binge down a little bit here. There's 1156s. Now what's cool is this chart I already scanned in. I'll have that everywhere. Actually, I'll just put it up on the web too. I'll include it in this. But it's got all the numbers, so if you ever actually need a bulb or one or two, you don't have to buy a whole kit. So this is 56. 1156, so we're going to take those out. Now I'm not going to throw the old ones away. I'm going to first test these. I'm going to first test these and see if they work. And to that, I got to put you back in the closet. And welcome to the closet. Oops. Let's see if I can get you pointed back down here at the taillights. There we go. Suppose I can get you closer, but I'm not gonna. So taillights are in the middle. So I'm gonna pull out these bulbs. Contacts look really good, so I'm not gonna mess with those too much. But you can see this bulb is just dirtiest thing ever, and I can't guarantee it's gonna work. Backup lights could be 100 different things. Could be a switch. Inside could be a fuse, but we're going to do the bulbs first. There's one. We'll do the other one. And that bulb's just corroded. Well, you probably can't see, so that light's terrible. Let's see what I can do. Yeah, that bulb's just corroded. So those are 1156s. I'm going to put them back in the bag so they stay labeled. But really, I'm used to those kind of things, but if you're not, because that's I grew up with those kind of bulbs in my 66 Impala and my 69 Dodge Dart, they all had similar. Alright, so we've got this. I think I'm gonna wheel you around here. I won't put you in the cabinet anymore. Wheel you around, see if I can get you a better angle. And down. Okay. I have to put you in an angle that works for me too, because I'm using the camera and your video to determine if the lights come on or not. Alright, so that one and that one. I'm going to go fire up the, still not down for me. Go fire up the car. And put it in reverse. You guys yell if you see the lights come on. The keys. So that was reverse. Did they come on? Hang on, let me check. Alright, so backup lights weren't working. New bulbs, I'm going to leave the new bulbs in there. Doesn't mean the old ones still weren't bad. You saw the tail lights come on, so we know the tail lights are working, or the brake lights were working. The tail lights did not, so that's what this bulb is. There we go. That's what this bulb is. There's two elements in these, so I'm going to replace these as well. Now, if I go back to the chart, I already know what these are, but if I go back to the chart just to show you. So backup lights were 1156. Directionals and tail lights are 1157. And I'll show you this. You can see it, 1157. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, so you can view it right again. So I'm going to replace those. So 1157s. Oh, well, guess what? We're too short. Happens if you're not careful, but we can get those anywhere. All right, 1157s without breaking them. There. And the camera. I'm gonna clean that up real quick. Give me a minute. Alright, so I got that mess cleaned up. Wear shoes when you're working in the garage. I see a lot of videos with guys with flip-flops and socks. And wear some shoes. You never know when some knucklehead dropped and broke all over the floor. Alright, so 1157s. But don't drop them. This one actually had some grease on it. Someone was very smart, put some grease on it to protect them. I'll do that eventually. But you see that one's pretty fried. And you see the difference between 1156 and 1157. Because it has two elements it's got to entertain. Yeah, I thought it felt a little weird when I was pulling that out. Yeah, it was a little weird. Let's see if I can get this back in there. They're offset, so you have to get them in the right way. I'll show you this next one. Let me turn you for a minute so the light's not so bad. If you look at these, see one knob's down here, the other knob's up here a little further. They only go in one way, and then they work. So I'm gonna tip you down again, because you're gonna be my test dummy here in a minute. That one still had grease on it too. Perfect. High and low. Now the other night I checked out the headlights. Headlights are perfect. High beam and low beam. The bulbs now, we're not talking about the fact that it doesn't function properly all the time. Alright, so you are here. I'll pull you around a little bit more. Let's see if I can get you in there. How you doing? Good. Alright, so I may have to put you back in the closet. I can't really get a good angle. Maybe from here. Have to see both. Yeah, you do that. Prop that up for a minute. So we're looking for brake lights first, tail lights second. Of course the brake light will come on first, and then I'll take the brake off, and you let me know if just yell, hey, if the tail lights come on. Brake lights, tail lights. Alright, how'd I do? Did it work? Let's take a look. Alright, so we got brake lights, yes. Tail lights, no. Now we gotta fix it. See what's going on. Have to check some fuses, but I'm going to clean this all up because I know all the bulbs are working now. I'm going to clean this up, and then we'll check some fuses in a while.